In his 2 years as England manager, this is the nearest Bobby Robson has come to fielding an unchanged team. 10 of the 11 who started the match in Scotland last week are available, and the enforced change is at number 9, where Tony Woodcock's hamstring injury means a recall for Trevor Francis. He and Luther Blissett will be hoping for productive service from the two wingers, number 7, Mark Chamberlain, and number 11, John Barnes. Since the Soviet withdrawal from the Olympic Games, the new national team manager, Malafeyev, has recalled some of the experienced 1982 World Cup squad. You might recall goalkeeper Dasayev, the elegant captain and sweeper Chivadze at number 3, and at number 11, the most famous Soviet footballer of his generation, Oleg Blokhin, former European Player of the Year, the highest scorer in Soviet history at club and international level, and the only survivor from their team which lost to England in Moscow in 1973, the last time the two countries met at full international level. It's 17 years since the Soviet Union played here at Wembley. There was snow on the ground that night in 1967 and they drew 2-2. Today there's bright sunshine and immediately a free kick to the Soviet Union, who are playing in red shirts and white shorts. The left back is Demianenko, World Cup player, number 5, and he was trying to get past Luther Blissett. This is Baltashar. England using two wingers then. Mark Chamberlain is on the right-hand side. And the referee, very precise at the start. That's John Barnes on the left wing for England. Here's Blissett, and now Duxbury. Brian Robson, the England captain, wearing number 8. Number 6 is Fennick, well forward early on. Barnes coming in from the far side. Header away by Sulak Velidze, who's the right back from Dynamo Tbilisi. Played in Europe at West Ham, a memorable match, 1981. Graham Roberts letting Wilkins take over. And this referee is going to punish, it would seem, the technical offences. That was a foul by Baltachar on Blissett. Roberts has made his way forward for the free kick. He's gone to the far side of the area. Wilkins took it, and Roberts is coming in now, gets ahead to it. Now Chivadze, the sweeper for the Soviet Union. Number 3. It's a good ball out to Oganesyan, the left-sided midfield player, number 8, into Demianenko. Plenty of runners up front here, and Roberts being tested as Rodionov goes through. And turned in, and a great chance, actually, for Litvichenko, who must surely look back on that and think he should have scored. Rodionov was the man who made it, number 10, but when he brushed his way past Graham Roberts here, and as he got a left-foot attempt in, Litvichenko just needed a touch there to put the ball in. Francis fouled. So an early scare for England here. Francis taking it back to Robson. And now it's Chamberlain. Inside again to Robson. Francis coming towards the near post. And a corner given. Just looking for Terry Fennick a bit on these corners. He's got a good record as a set-piece defender. Coming up, number 6. And Blissett letting the ball run, and it's a corner again. These are being taken by Barnes with his left foot from the right-hand side. Graham Roberts has occupied the near post area. And Roberts causing trouble there, and there's a chance for Robson perhaps. Hooked away though by Alyenikov. And Duxbury having to hurry to stop blocking. Rodionov, Sulak Velidze. Ray Wilkins to John Barnes in good space here. There are two to his right. Nearly the Watford connection of old there. Barnes looking for Blissett. They know each other so well. And that's the sort of service England will expect. They want Barnes and Chamberlain to get into advanced positions and get their crosses in. The England coach, Don Howe, now the manager of Arsenal. Zigmantovic. Blissett. Taking on Baltachar. Barnes supporting. It's a goal kick. Oh, what a mistake, Barnes. Oh, that was a let-off for the Soviet Union. Chivadze brought the ball out in the end. Here's Oganesyan. Well, England are pushing four forwards up the field, and when the Soviet Union get the ball, they appear to be relying on three outright attackers. Forward by Wilkins. Francis. Demianenko. Oganesyan. Sulak Velidze. Rodionov's the player in the centre-forward position. Duxbury with the volleyed clearance. Nice pass by Baltachar out to Demianenko. And here's Barnes. Blissett. Sansom. Wilkins. Terry Fenwick. Robson. Wilkins. He scored a very good goal in midweek in the testimonial match at Tottenham, Ray Wilkins, and he's playing with a lot of confidence just lately. Alyenikov. Sulak Velidze. Scott Litvichenko making a run just inside. Blocking's made his run across the face of the area, and it may run on to Oganesyan. Alyenikov. Oganesyan. Demianenko's cross, easy for Shilton. Malafeyev, the Russian Soviet coach, watching there from the bench. Not all Russians in this team, of course. The Georgians and those from other parts of the Soviet Union don't like that description. It's only the Muscovites, really, who would generally qualify for that description. In fact, Malafeyev there, the coach on the right, was the team coach at Dynamo Minsk before getting the Olympic job, and now the national team manager's post. Francis. Chamberlain. This is Fennick. Blissett goes up. Sulak Belidze wasn't sure. Here's John Barnes. Well, John Barnes is still to score for England after 8 appearances. And I think the feeling of his club manager, Graham Taylor, may be that he's got to be a little bit more assertive at international level. He's always very confident when he's playing for Watford. And a chance cropped up there, and he was perhaps trying to chip it for the far corner with his right foot. Nice flick on there by Rodionov. Fennick in the way. Duxbury. Francis. Oh, nice turn. Opens things up a little bit for Robson. Maybe for Sansom. Or for Barnes. Well, he's an experienced fullback, Sulak Belidze. Wouldn't think Barnes can skip past him too easily, too often. Shivadze. Soviets have got Zigmantovic receiving attention just over the touchline there. And it's an interception by Terry Fennick. Francis. And now Chamberlain. Inside Demianenko, chance! Dasayev saves! And Shivadze got there faster than Blissett to the rebound. And that's brought Wembley to life. Mark Chamberlain seeing his chance to go inside the fullback on his left foot, something that Bobby Robson talked to him about earlier in the season, about improving his left foot play, and brought a save out of Dasayev. Chamberlain with the throw, and Dasayev has come all the way. Well, that was a good effort by Mark Chamberlain. He saw the gap inside Demianenko, and he went for it. Dasayev, the goalkeeper, made a good stop with his right hand there, going to his right. That was a good save. Blocking. And the foul was by Terry Fennick. And off goes Zigmantovic, heavily bandaged. And he'll be replaced by Gotsmanov, with less than 20 minutes gone. Ganeshan into the wall. Now, can England break here? Robson had to go back. There was nobody further down the right-hand side. Here's Graham Roberts. And now Barnes into Francis. Ray Wilkins taking over eagerly, looking for Blissett. Defender is Baltachar. And still Blissett. Certainly some progressive forward play by England. They're looking for the spaces in this Soviet defence, and they're prepared to attack them, it would seem. And there's Rodionov. Blocking waiting in the centre, so are two others. And Roberts tangling with Rodionov, and Ogianeshin's found a terrific position if they can square it, and they couldn't. But it's not over yet, it's offside now. If the referee sees the linesman's flag, which he hasn't, Gotsmanov. And there goes Blissett. Sansom joining the attack. There's Sansom again. Chivadze hasn't had a chance yet to come forward as he likes to do, because with England playing 4 full-time forwards, the Soviet defenders are pretty occupied. Alyenikov to Gotsmanov. And Rodionov. Chamberlain back as a defender. Not the best of clearances either. Chivadze will pick this up and he'll probably continue his run. Alyenikov. Here's Chivadze. Alyenikov again. Long line of players drifting out slowly here. Rodionov, though, for the Soviet Union. They're looking for an offside here, England. But Blokhin is onside. And Chivadze again. The Soviet team building up a spell here of good passing. Oganeshin trying to get the final ball through to the substitute, Gotsmanov. But they've shown in the past that they've got more flair than Soviet teams of old. Here's Wilkins. And now it's Robson. Played for Francis. And it was Alyenikov who stopped him. Only once have England lost to the Soviet Union at full international level. That was in the 1958 World Cup in Gothenburg. Only one defeat for England in 7 previous meetings. Oganeshin, and there's runners here, Blokhin. Rodionov is waiting in the centre. And it was pulled back behind him, and fortunately for England, it was able to be cleared by Fennick. Now it's Wilkins. Blissett, oh, that's a good ball. Chamberlain, Francis and Barnes in the centre. Blissett's joining them now. Duxbury in support. Litovichenko. Sulak-Velidze. Gotsmanov. Just wonder whether Brian Robson might feel he took the ball there, but referee has awarded a free kick, which Sulak-Velidze is preparing to take. The Soviets with 3 players lined up on the 18-yard line. There'll be a 4th now. And Duxbury's header out. Oganeshin, Demyanenko. And the slip was by Rodionov, and it gave Graham Roberts a chance to intercept and give Francis the ball. And Roberts has gone through on the left-hand side. That's his cross, but it's behind Luther Blissett. England's final pass still lacking, and the Soviet Union have produced a good one here to Blokhin. Robson trying to get back, and Blokhin drove into the side netting, but it just showed, even now he's in his 30s, how quick and dangerous this fellow still is. Robson actually drove him sensibly wide. Here's Chamberlain. And Blissett. Now can England produce something here? They've got 4 waiting for a cross. Those crosses up to now have not been quite good enough. Gotsmanov. It's a good run. Oganessian's pulled away to the far side. It's a good effort, and Shilton forced to make a very good save. That was a tidy move by the Soviet Union. Gotsmanov made the run on the left, and Oganessian had sensibly pulled back behind the last defender. He saw the possibilities here of turning inside and chipping for Shilton to make a good one-handed save. Oh, and Sulak Velidze had joined Blokhin at the far post, but Roberts was able to clear. There's no England player up there. They'd all come back to defend. Alyanikov. Rodionov is clean through against Shilton. And he's still there, is Rodionov, and Sansom had to make the last challenge on Oganessian, but the England goalkeeper excels himself again. 3 outstanding saves now. Well, Rodionov, who's a good young player from Spartak Moscow, normally a reliable finisher, the angle wasn't brilliant for him, but look how Shilton stood up and made the attacker make the decision. Sansom then covered well. Terrific goalkeeping by most people's #1 in the world. The man at the other end might disagree with that, Dasayev. He's got his admirers. And indeed, we've got 2 of the best goalkeepers around on view this afternoon at Wembley. Oh, and a mistake here, and Shilton comes again to save Mizivachenko. Kenny Sansom, who was unsure initially. Here's Gotsmanov. Soviets are playing well in this spell of the game. Oganessian. Demianenko. Taking on Duxbury. Oh, and Sansom did just enough there against Gotsmanov. He had to jump with him. Interesting piece of defending that by Kenny Sansom. The other England fullback, Mike Duxbury's had some critics this week about allowing players to get in front of him for headers. Well, certainly on that occasion, his partner on the other flank, Kenny Sansom, made absolutely sure that that wasn't going to happen to him. So Bobby Robson relieved to see Peter Shilton in such fine form. We're in stoppage time at the end of the first half at Wembley. No score. And here's Luther Blissett. That's well played by Blissett. Oh, the goalkeeper got a hand to it, and Barnes couldn't reach the rebound. And the referee brings to a close a first half notable for the goalkeeping of Rinat Dasayev at one end in the Soviet goal, and the brilliant Peter Shilton for England. They're the reason the score is 0-0, and right on half-time there, Luther Blissett, a fine attempt from not the best of angles. He went for the far corner, but Dasayev's long right arm stretched out and saved his side. But in fairness, that's only what Shilton has done earlier for England on at least 3 occasions, so the half-time score is England 0, Soviet Union 0. Worth mentioning as the Soviet Union start the second half that when they've been at full strength, they've only lost 2 out of their last 38 internationals over a 4-year period. Brazil beat them in the World Cup, you'll remember, after the Soviets had led 1-0, and they lost to a disputed penalty to Portugal in the European Championship qualifiers. Here's Blissett. Demianenko. Wembley bathed in sunshine. And the header is by Litvichenko, and this is Kenny Sanson. Duxbury into Francis. Oh, Chamberlain looking for Wilkins. And the cross dying, rather. There's blocking. And Chamberlain getting back to intercept. Two managers have agreed that they can use up to 3 outfield substitutes in this friendly, so England are quite at liberty to make changes should they wish to. Barnes. In fact, on the England subs bench, for the record, some uncapped players. Gary Stevens, Mark Haitley and Dave Watson, as well as Steve Hunt, who's had just 1 cap. And the goalkeeper, Chris Woods, also uncapped at full level. Here's Oganessian for the Soviet Union. That wasn't the best of passes. In fact, it was hopeless, really, but the other forwards complaining. But that's been the type of build-up from which they've launched their best attacks. So here's Wilkins. Francis pulling away to the right-hand side. Duxbury's moved forward too. Well, a goal would do an awful lot to enhance the enjoyment of this game. Here's Fennick. Mustn't forget the good saves we've seen, mind you. Here's Roberts. Fennick. Oh, Duxbury here. Baltacher coming across. Well, England haven't found goals easy to come by in recent internationals. What can Francis do here? Back to Chamberlain. And they're relying on the wingers to get the service in, and at least they forced a corner there. Well, Chamberlain did. Barnes has gone across to take it. Roberts in the near post position. And Blissett up with Dasayev, who's untroubled, and releases Rodionov with a very good throw. And they're bringing 3 others forward, the Soviets. Blocking is hovering dangerously on the far side. Oganessian is there. This is Blocking. But from his point of view, a poor cross. And Blocking again. Blissett coming short to collect Wilkins' pass. And the handball will give England a free kick, which Francis takes quickly. John Barnes perhaps being encouraged to wander a little now. Francis. That's well done, but it's too long for Blissett. Litvichenko for the Soviet Union. Oh, and Duxbury has slipped badly there. Gotsmanov has put the Soviet Union into the lead. Sergei Gotsmanov, the scorer, after a bad slip by Mike Duxbury, consoled by Ray Wilkins. And after 53 minutes, the Soviet Union, from the type of through ball they've been exploiting so well, are in the lead. But Duxbury was favourite to collect that until he slipped, and Gotsmanov was in. Shilton began to come, but the finish was good. Chamberlain for England. And he's on his way now. There are 3 others up with him and 2 coming from midfield. Chamberlain's cross, well taken. This is Demianenko. Oganessian came inside to make room further out. Rodionov. Litvichenko with a chance, but he spooned that shot off the outside of his foot. Another enterprising break by the Soviet team. It was swift and incisive. The ball rolled out by Rodionov, but Litvichenko well wide. And this England midfield, the 2-man tandem of Robson and Wilkins, finding it hard going in there, neither making a real impression on the match. Sulak Velidze. Rodionov. There's Chamberlain. Oganessian. Good running by Rodionov in the centre. Roberts trying to get to him. Oganessian is coming through, and Roberts did get there. Wholesome piece of defending. Wilkins. Sulak Velidze in the way. Robson. Brian Robson not having the best of days in that England midfield. And the last player you want to bring the ball out of that area is Chivadze. Rodionov. Demianenko. Litvichenko. Oh, well, the whistle's gone, actually. The ball already out before he crossed it, but that was a bit close, actually. And Litvichenko thought he'd supplied a cross from which Rodionov might well have made it 2-0. And still Blissett. And that'll be a corner to England. And as it is, it's also going to be an England substitution. And where does this leave the experiment with wingers? Because the man going off is John Barnes, who was about to go over and take a corner, he thought, but he's being replaced by Steve Hunt of West Bromwich Albion, who comes on for his second substitute appearance. There are, in fact, 24 minutes left. England are a goal behind, so Wilkins will take the corner instead and plays it short to Duxbury. Wilkins again. Oh, and Dasayev elects to punch, and Hunt will get a throw here. Just come on. Francis. Hunt is a left-sided player. But the goalkeeper hasn't had too much difficulty with crosses, mostly unchallenged, and a very commanding presence anyway. And Mark Haitley looks as though he's going to win his first full cap and gets instructions from the manager. Robson. And the ball for blocking So dangerous. He's curled it against the post. The Soviet master of sport, who's played brilliantly across the world over the last 10 years, Oleg Blokhin. Beautifully there. He turned inside and chipped that shot against the post with Shilton scrambling. Blissett. Francis. Chamberlain. And Sulak Belidze came across to make an important tackle. But when they break out of midfield, this Soviet team can produce the telling pass and at times a breathtaking finish, which we saw then from Blokhin. Rodionov the target this time. It was a moment of skill the Wembley crowd won't forget in a hurry. A memorable moment from one of Europe's finest players. Rodionov. He's got some skill too, the number 10. Alyenikov on to Litvichenko. Now Blokhin. And Blokhin on his left foot again. And the deflection for Oganessian, offside. No goal. Blokhin again, the provider. And Wilkins gives him a consoling pat. The man who put the ball in the back of the net was in fact the number 8, Oganessian. Can they prevent the Soviet Union adding their name to the list? This is Mark Chamberlain. Certainly the Soviet coach, Malofeyev, will be pleased with the way things have gone up to now, although his team might well have been further ahead. Here's Fennick. Sansom's well forward. Here's Haitley. And he got it down. Rodionov. And he's taken a stiff challenge from Graham Roberts. Haitley is 22 and has scored 31 senior goals this season, 25 for Portsmouth and 6 for the England under-21s. The crowd trying to launch an England revival in the last quarter of an hour. Rodionov. Alyenikov. And Brian Robson intercepts the pass from Litvichenko. Chamberlain to Blissett. Potsman off with the tackle. Oganessian. Tricky little player. And they've got support here for him right and left. And Fennick will have to cut this down as Blokhin comes in, and it fizzes across the goal. The move initiated by the man who thought he might get on the end of it there, Oganessian, but Blokhin says, well, you can drive them from those angles and hope for the best. Another good, swift move by the Soviet team. Forward by Duxbury for Blissett. Chamberlain. Wilkins to Duxbury, and Haitley's there. And he'd appreciate any sort of service in the air. And the tactics have got to change a little now with the substitution. This is Haitley's header. Blissett turning them. Wilkins. And Haitley. Good power in the shot. certainly tested the reactions of Dasayev and in fact bounced back off him. And just look at that ball, pumped forward for Blockeen, and Graham Roberts is stretched to reach him. Blockeen did brilliantly. And Roberts brought him down. And what does the referee do? Does he award the Soviet Union a penalty for the tackle by Graham Roberts on Oleg Blockeen? But in fact, he chooses instead to take up a position on the far side of the penalty area, having looked closely at his linesman, and the Soviet team, somewhat confused, have only got a corner. So let's see what happens from this before debating whether that should have been a penalty. Corner to be taken by number 7, Litvichenko. Oh, and Rodionov came to the near post. And Blissett turned the ball nicely inside, but the return pass from Hately is going nowhere. Certainly not into the path of the player who he was looking for. Gotsmanov, the scorer of the goal which still separates the two teams. Here's Oganessian. Brian Robson challenging him. Here's Sulak Velidze. Litvichenko, that's a good-looking ball. Rodionov. Challenge was by Fenech. Wilkins across to Hunt. And now Chamberlain trying his luck in the inside left position. Sansom. And here's Hunt, and there are two waiting in the centre, but what will happen instead is another Soviet Union substitution. The man going off is number 6, Alyanikov. And the man coming on to replace him is number 13, Boris Pozniakov from Spartak Moscow. This substitution taking place with 5 minutes left. Pozniakov, very much a defensive player, which is understandable with the Soviets leading 1-0. Here's Kenny Sansom. The East Europeans have always used substitutes in a rather different fashion to British teams. They're going to make another change in a minute. Very late in the day, that's Wilkins playing it forward. And here's Oganessian. Wilkins for England. Is there life left yet in this England team? Turned on by Blissett. Only 4 minutes to go. Demianenko's made a run down the left. Duxbury cut the ball out. Chamberlain. Well, he got past 2, but not past 3, and then he was a little late with his challenge, but the Soviet Union now wanting to make their third change. Rodionov is going off after having had a good match up front, and he'll be replaced by an emerging young striker, Oleg Protasov, 20 years old, from the champions Dnieper, surprising winners of the Soviet League last season, and indeed leading it again this season. So on comes Protasov. So 3 minutes left now. Just about time to get used to the two new names, I would think. But here's Ray Wilkins for England. Kenny Sansom's taken up a good position. This is Blissett, but the ball ran away from Luther Blissett just when he'd hoped for a bit of luck in the penalty area. And there hasn't been much of that for England. Just wanting something to break for them at this stage with time running out, and Blissett found the ball going away from him there. Here's Wilkins, and Chamberlain is out wide. And Wilkins shooting chance here. Good compact goalkeeping that. Wilkins shot. But if the ball had come back off Dasayev, then Mark Haitley might well have scored. We're in stoppage time. The Soviet Union lead 1-0. Protasov headed the ball on, and blocking is in here. Good save by Shilton, and the follow-up goes in by Protasov. Right at the end. Well, 2-0 now to the Soviet Union. Their victory assured. Shilton disconsolate. And Protasov, who just come on as sub, makes certain. All the hard work done again by Blokhin. Protasov started that with the header, but look where he goes now, right across to the far side, and as Shilton parries, he's on hand to score. So Bobby Robson will now suffer his 4th defeat in 8 games as England manager this season. And the Soviet Union will win at Wembley for the first time in their history. And the 38,000 people on the terraces are making their feelings heard. Hunt. And Haitley with Dasayev. And Pozniakov half gets the ball away. Duxbury knocks it back. So England end their season in home matches with another defeat. The two coaches shake hands, but Bobby Robson knows that with 19 players missing, it's very difficult to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, especially when the Soviet team brought to Wembley some experienced players who on the day proved just too good for what England had available. England were in the match for a while, but they eventually went behind to a goal by Gotsmanov after 53 minutes, and then going into stoppage time, the substitute Protasov made it 2-0. So as the Soviets celebrate their victory, England go off to their South American tour, still looking for shape, still looking for the way to the future, but most of all, perhaps, still looking for more experienced players who, for the moment, just aren't around. The score at Wembley at the end of this international, England 0, the Soviet Union 2.